Okay, and just make sure we have ourselves a nice, nutritious dinner. That'll do. Yeah, I really am basically any place I've set up, even as like a forward operating base. We are very much scavenging, like any birch bark, any coffee, any caffeine, really, which is just further is further piling that mental pressure on me that don't screw this up. It just it's all coming from me, of course.
I need to find a place to rest.
I know you do, but I just I want you to do a quick little sweep for birch. Every little bit helps. So let's see. With we got another 17 there, and we have what 37? Yeah, well, yeah, we have we'll probably have the ingredients for about 100 birch bark teas. Are we 45? Okay. Yeah, if we weren't so tired, we'd be fine. And we have had at least one blizzard since last we were here, so there should be some about. Uh, right? There we go. Okay. Proof of concept. All right, let's go. Oh, Andrea, if you're with us, I have started seeing posters for the Ready or Not sequel. I think the metro stop that's close to where I work has a handful of them up. The text is almost all in Chinese, so I'm not going to be a big help there. But I did notice like new blood, new game. Trailer looks good. I've actually not seen the trailer, so I might have to keep an eye out for that. So I am very curious where they're gonna go with that story. Because we did have was it Samara Weaving's character? And spoilers for those of you who haven't seen the first Ready or Not, and you absolutely should, because it's real good. I mean, so her there's a dropped line that says like was it so the guy I forget the piece of shit she marries, I guess, saw Mr. LaBelle, and that's supposed to be like some sort of sign. But then in during the evening's events, she herself sees Mr. LaBelle. So is she family? I don't know. Or maybe maybe because the family didn't live up to their end of the bargain,
Sun is setting.
maybe the rules have
It'll be
changed.
a lot colder soon.
We'll find out. I saw another one recently called "They Will Kill You." Ooh. What's that one about? But yeah, I mean, yes, Samara weaving was great, and as I'm curious enough. Like I didn't need a sequel. We don't need a Ready or Not cinematic universe. But if people want to have a go, I certainly won't stop them. It's Ready or Not meets Kill Bill. Okay. Who seeks to rescue his sister from immortal, rich, satanic freaks? The side scenes are crazy and very gory. Okay. So I can see where the Kill Bill equivalent comes in. All right. There's an Aurora. You know, we might just hang out here tonight if we have food. And it made you laugh a bunch too. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Would a Gore Fest fly with Hong Kong censors? I don't. It might. I'm not 100% sure. I guess we'll keep an eye out and we'll see. Okay, I have. All right, we got one deer steak. Well, that's probably enough for one night. Oh, you're okay. Yeah. Water putrefaction tablets. We don't need you. Now, I did notice. Well, I should say. All I know about the sequel, other than what you said, Andrea, is I did see on that poster there are several Asian-looking folks, and I was again my cynical Hollywood brain said, okay, are they going to be like organically included in the story, or did someone at the studio say, hey, get us the Chinese audience? I hold out the hope it's the former. I don't want to be. I don't want to just fully pivot to cynicism. That's not a good way to live. That's not a good way to approach art. But Hollywood being what it is, I don't think we can fully discount it either. Okay, while we're here, let's go ahead and just prepare all this birch bark.
I'm so tired I could lay down right here.
Speaking of Chinese audiences, so you're interviewed for a Hong Kong fashion magazine. Wow, you did not. Milk X. Okay, I am unfamiliar with their work, but if they're interviewing you, they know their shit. Yesterday it's beautiful, but you can't read it. Oh, that's fair. So, what was the subject of the interview? If you're okay to share that. I mean, if you got a copy in the mail, I would assume it's any embargo is done by now. Excuse me. Okay, we good? Maybe, but let's go ahead and make sure we're fully rested. Horror movies? Well, you do know those. All right, there we go.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
There, how about that? There appears to be a sidebar listing the biggest directors in the genre from Kubrick to Peele. Okay. So now I'm trying to think. So what's the angle a fashion magazine is taking with? I mean, horror and fashion are not unrelated, certainly. I just so, but yeah, I would. I'll have to check that out. Milk X. I should hang on. I'm gonna make a note of that. Okay. Horror's so hot right now. Well, they're not wrong. And yeah, I suppose yeah. It's just because it's a fashion magazine doesn't mean that it necessarily has to stick to only that. Like their readers would be interested in other things as well. And as long as you can make whatever you're writing relevant to a say a fashion first audience, then yeah, go for it. But no, that is yeah, that's great, Andrea. And well, I hope they did right by you, and they gave you a fair shake, and then now I said you were you so your interview? Did they have a photos of you as well? Because I know you have your fashion game is on point as well. So was it an interview with a photo, or was it just you in the text? And I do feel your pain there because what was it? When I was in Abu Dhabi, a friend a friend was starting a soccer magazine in Japan, and he asked me to write up a piece on the UAE because they were doing previews of all teams that are going to the Asian Cup, and so I did that in English, and then a month or two later, I got I got a copy of said magazine in the mail, and I saw my byline, and then I saw my piece in Japanese, and that I don't remember doing that, but I'm sure it's great. I still have that too. It is one of my precious few non-newspaper clips. I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what'll get me to pick up learning Japanese again. So I try to have a goal of being able to read my own article back to myself. Although again, it is a lot of it is involving non-Japanese names for people and clubs and places, etc. So there's more katakana than usual. So Because that I can do. But everything else, well, we'll see. I know. Yeah, language learning is like it's there alongside reading in that it's one of those things like in the abstract I like to do and want to do, but yeah, you gotta find the time. It's like I'm pushing myself to at least read on a regular basis, just like an hour here or there, and I'm doing okay so far. But I definitely not back into bookworm status. You're too old to learn? Nah, I disagree, Andrea. You're clever enough and you're motivated enough where I say if you were of a mind to do so, you could, and probably do so quite well. No, your neural pathways are only set when you're dead. Even though predominantly French, you might pick it back up, but other than that, and that is the sort of thing. It's because languages, like other skills, they are very much a use it or lose it proposition. And then that's part of the reason my Japanese has atrophied so badly is I don't use it. Let's see, where's my cooked meat? There we are. One 1.1.2. We're already rolling right at capacity. Again, you got no. We have enough. Let's just go. You remember when your bilingual was at its peak, you had thoughts in both languages? Oh, yeah, that's great stuff. Yeah, I say when you're what was it? Was it when you're dreaming in another language? That's when you know it's really taken hold. I have not, or at least I don't think I have. If I did, I don't remember it. But yeah, there's because there's also at least for me, there's also the kind of like analysis paralysis angle. It's like, what do I do? Like the practical thing would be learn Cantonese, or you get better at that. But it's it hard. But also it's like I can't like in my daily life I can get by using English, and when I do try using Cantonese, whoever I'm speaking with just defaults to English, which it's a little demotivating. I'm not going to lie. I if I wanted to be forward thinking, I could switch to Mandarin, still a tonal language, but only 4 tones as opposed to Cantonese is what 6 to 10, depending on who you ask. I could go back to Japanese. I have a grounding in that. Still remember some of it. But how often am I going to use it in my day-to-day? If I really wanted to be pragmatic and then, prepare for eventually going back to the U.S., I'd learn Spanish. But again, there's the question of, like, unless I start, tuning into telenovelas and the Liga MX game of the week. You know, how much am I going to use it? Because I'm not, other than maybe visiting Spain, you know, how much use am I going to get out of that? Because I do feel that pressure not to be one of those expats. Like, expect everyone to speak your language. Don't make an effort. Don't try to, you know, blend in with the local culture. I mean, I like to think I'm at least above that. Like I do, like I have, you know, I'd like to think I've made a good faith effort, even though I do remain bad at it. And I'm able to, you know, get around. But at the same time, like my experience of Hong Kong would be all the richer if I could, you know, have a better grasp of the language that most people are in fact speaking. I mean, that's just an indisputable fact. I don't know. We'll see. And you know, it's also like the question of time. Like I've got, you know, working, was it 8 or 9 hours a day plus commute, and you know, I have been making a concerted effort to not just exercise, but exercise regularly, at least 5 days a week, and I'm sticking to that. There is progress on that front, but you know, I'm tired when I come home from work. You know, I push through the workout. I'm even more tired. I don't know that I'm necessarily a uh, in a spot to crack a book or like to sit down and engage in mentally demanding tasks like that. Yeah, yeah. You have to work out first thing in the day. So, I mean, that would be smart. That would be the intelligent way to go about it. And I say when, at least in yeah, in Abu Dhabi, like when I started getting on this kick, that's what I did, and it worked great. But that would involve me getting up earlier, and getting up earlier would mean I need to go to bed earlier, and going to bed earlier would start bumping into my stream time, at least some days of the week. You prefer lifting on an empty stomach? Okay. Um, I can't speak to that, so I'll take your word for it. I will say I do prefer it. Yeah, well, especially like on days I'm not working, it'd be like a midweek day off or the weekend. I do very much prefer to exercise in the middle of the day. I have more energy, and I'm not as shattered afterward. I'd say the gym is quieter between 10 and noon, and that makes a lot of sense too. Like if you do go to a gym, yeah, going at the off-peak hours would be just a more enjoyable experience in general. Now for me, well, one, at the moment, I purely do cardio, and I have a treadmill that is actually sitting right behind me as I speak. So I have no excuses. Like they don't I don't have to pack my stuff and walk to a gym and then walk back. Like there's no like the commute is a handful of steps. So that is so the no excuse that is my thinking. That's why I invested in that. And especially compared to a gym membership, it has paid itself off many times over. But I should look as I should again. And should statements if you'll remember our vampire therapist playthrough. But I want to incorporate some weightlifting as well. Not like powerlifting or anything like that, but like even just like with some free weights to mix in some variety. So one to work different muscle groups, but also so I can spare my knees. Now it's gonna have to wait a bit because um, I'm gonna be paying off that flight back to the U.S. in September. Again, paying that off this month and next, because even even catching that when I did before fuel prices went really wackadoo, it was still not cheap. And now it's even worse. Like the airline I booked with, they've jacked up their fuel surcharge again. So any long haul flights like I'm taking, you're looking at round trip another like $1,200 US. Like, and that's on top of the airfare. Which, whew. But I do take your point, Andrea. And yeah, the responsible thing to do would be to go to bed earlier, wake up earlier, get that exercise in, and then what I could do, I could stream earlier. I could stream an hour earlier. But then then even fewer people in North America could watch me. Anyway, but at the same time, that is something to consider. If I could, like I've the current routine is make go 30 minutes on the treadmill at a brisk pace. So between stretching and then change clothes, stretch, run, cool down, shower. That's probably an hour and a half from start to like the whole process start to finish. So I leave for work at 8:45, 9-ish. Wake up at 6:30, 6:45, something. I don't know. Maybe it's just my habit of staying up late, as a result of however, the years and years in the newspaper business, it sticks with me even when I don't need it to. It just feels natural. Even though if I wanted to, if I put my mind to it, I could ingrain those new habits. And my neighbors might appreciate me, not being up until well into the evening, still yapping and yelling at video games. But then I'd probably be waking them up as opposed to keeping them from being able to go to bed. Okay, I do see you. I see you over there, Wolfie. But I don't particularly want to deal with you. I want to keep moving. And there's a question. No. We've been gone from Transfer Pass for a couple days. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we almost certainly have not been gone long enough for anything to respawn. I mean, I'll happily accept the boon if I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. Okay, now we could have some interference here. We know there are wolves down that away. There was one across the bridge, but I shot that one, and then it despawned before we came back, so maybe it's up, maybe it's not. There's a part of me that says, well, I mean, why? Fancy you starting to worry about taking care of yourself now. Where was this in your 20s or 30s? Ugh, excuse me. Had a sniffle, a sneeze there. It's two of you. There's two of you, and you're not snacking on the ptarmigans? Well, that's just a waste. And that is, I mean, that's not inaccurate. I did very much not take care of myself in my 20s and 30s, but again, I figure better late than never, yeah? You need to get cardio in your life, and then so you're on the opposite, the opposite scale from me. I am 100% cardio, and I need to get more weightlifting in my life. Walking daunting gets you outside, but hardly exercise. Well, I mean, every little bit helps. You are back. Good grief. I just fuck off. Fuck off. This, what kind of respawn timer are you on? Yeah, that was a horrible place to take that fight. I probably didn't even hit that. All right, I'm wasting all the ammo I got from Sutherland. Let's not do that. I mean, I really just want to make sure it's dead, but that would require hitting it again, and it's very much committed to me not doing that. But I would say that it is something, Andrea. It's not nothing, but yeah, it's not exactly getting the old heart pumping. So you're not wrong there. Finally. There you go. Gotta make sure we get our brass. God, it's just blood all over the snow. Any who's will be. Yeah, but I'll be honest, yeah, because and I think part of it was the usual thing in your 20s and 30s, like you're feeling all young and like you can shrug off whatever comes your way, and then you might even be right, but I will say there was also a part of me that just that thought you don't and I was not worth taking care of during that time of my life. And you just just keep on chugging along, just focus on the work because what else is there? But thankfully, I have I have broken myself of that. But that I know better than to listen to that voice. But I'd also be lying if I said if it was completely excised. You played roller derby, mm-hmm. And yeah, I would imagine if there's any sport that will uh, correct your perception of being able to bounce back from whatever, it's probably roller derby. Let's see what we need. We're about a third over. I could dump some sticks, and then we can just take the rope down. You know what? Why don't we just do that? Save ourselves some hassle. But yes, I won't say that I am not gonna fully pivot into you know fitness asshole. I'm still me. I still have most of my habits, and as Andrea very astutely pointed out, you can take care of yourself and not like deny yourself all pleasure. And it's like there's that phrase that even I use sometimes: all things in moderation, including moderation. So yeah, I'm not going to a buffet anytime soon. But say, once or twice a week, I want to eat out, you can do that. Or I will say my current small indulgence is um, the Fancy Expat grocery store has started carrying Reese's peanut butter eggs because it is the Easter season. And if I'm a sucker for one thing, it's a breakfast sandwich. And if I'm a sucker for two things, it's a breakfast sandwich and Reese's peanut butter, anything. So anytime you try to go too hard with healthy eating, you inevitably binge. Yeah, and I think part of it is habit, right? It's like and there's a reason people say diets don't work. Is that because you're just it's not a sustainable change, I guess, right? Like what was it? Because like all these diets, and I think as you and Alex so noted in that substance episode, well, that's the way we came in. Like the Atkins diet, and the what was it like the Miami with the Miami Beach diet and like the paleo diet, keto, and like all these fad diets have come and gone, and yet people still be fat. Like there's because again they don't sustain. Oh, careful. Oh, hang on. I think I missed a little something there. Uh, you refuse to weigh your food or track out. Yeah, because it's that is a good way to get bogged down, and particularly if you're staring at your scale every day, it's a good way to develop bad habits. Never a chocolate peanut butter. Your ices are all salty crunch ones. Oh yeah. Um. And actually, I'll say in all honesty, I'm not that big a fan of chocolate. For me, if chocolate is anything, it is a delivery device for peanut butter. Other than that, I'm just kind of eh. I mean, I don't hate it, but I won't go out of my way for it either. I went to the movies on Wednesday and got popcorn and one of those flavor packets of white cheddar seasoning. Sprinkle all through the movie. Like you had white powder all over your Oh no. It was a great. Well, I mean,
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
as people might have been saying, "Oh wow, Andrew was really enjoying herself during the movie." Parents were wearing all black. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't. I mean, part of this whole thing I'm doing now is trying to ease back on the snacking, but or at the very least replace the current snacking choices with some work in some more fruit. But yeah, I'm not I am not averse to the savory Yeah, snavery snalty. The savory salty snack. I think what was it? I got the I do yeah, when I do go grocery shopping, I do try to get at least one container of like the planters, like the roasted peanuts, not honey roasted, just like plain
Wonder if I can drop
roasted.
any this gear.
I think that's I think they're yeah I can find them now. They're tasty. You know, they're the little salty crunchy thing, and you know, they're not horrifically unhealthy. Carrots with good quality hummus. Yeah, I don't know if you can even can you, I mean, someone's got to sell hummus here, but if they do, I haven't found them. You said Dante he had a frozen raspberry. Really? He never wants fruit. He has been on a million raspberries before, but apparently he likes them frozen. Huh? Maybe is it the maybe it's the texture he doesn't like? Maybe the room temperature raspberry is too squishy, but frozen frozen gives him the crunch he might be used to from you know various and sundry other doggo snacks. He loves watermelon, so frozen raspberries or watermelon. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So now, at the very least, now there's one more. Yeah, one more. I have no rocks. That's too far. Just in case, we'll be short on rabbit meat as when we get to transfer pass. Thanks. Yeah. It's generally inadvisable to take shots at animals that are moving away from you, but I had confidence in myself that I could bag the bun bun before it turned around. All right, let's get this out. Yeah, well, no, I have a bunch of firewood out behind the train depot. So I was saying, but we're gonna need firewood for that, but we're also gonna need a ton. Excuse me, for when we. Excuse me again. For when we make the water, tea, and coffee in the Zoc. Because I want to make sure to do all that outside. That way we can maximize the amount of time we can sleep indoors before cabin fever kicks in. Although, isn't there a cedar log here somewhere? I think I remember that. Yeah, right there. Why don't we go ahead and grab that while we're in the neighborhood? Lovely. Oh, but don't need that. Oh, there's another one. Don't mind if I do. Okay, our calorie store is getting a little on the low side.
Feels like night is coming. I think I
It
need
does
to
do that when the sun goes down. It's well spotted by you, Astrid. I hate that. And of all the sounds our survivors make, like they'll for some reason that's the one that gets to me the most. Okay, but yeah, we're so very close, and we do have some spare cooked venison waiting for us. So we won't go hungry when we do get there. But I want to be strategic. We want to be careful. We don't we don't so worry about taking care of Astrid's short-term needs. We mess up the long term and then eat more pie ingredients than we should.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh, you can and you will, but not all that far. Don't never let it be said I am a taskmaster without concern for your health and safety. I just need you to keep matriculating down the tracks. Yeah, so order of operations. 1, make pies here. Make Breyerhouse pies here. Step 2, maybe take a pie with us into the Zoc. We draw the attention of any predator, even in the vicinity of where we want to go, like between basically the entrance to the zone and the entrance to the mine. Get out there and kill them all dead. It should just be wolves. The only bear I know of in the area is like up the slope and over by Smoker's Cave, and it would have to wander a fair ways to be an issue for us. Now, we are going to be walking into the zone with a bunch of smelly pies, so that's not 100% out of the question. So we should be on guard for that. But I think, yeah, make the pies, clear a path, and then yeah. Then we start moving things in, but we make sure to do all of our water making and tea and coffee cooking outdoors. Yeah, okay. I mean, we're not. What did you? That was weird. Yeah, we're not going to be able to put cabin fever off for that long. But again, for 25 days, if we can have even like 4 days worth of sleep, That'll be to our benefit. Did I? I did. There's a bok bok right there. A solo bok bok. Oh, well, fuck you two. Well, at least we know the animals are, some animals are going to be back here. Is that going to delay our pie making? It probably shouldn't. Although, hang on, let me check. Okay, we need to touch those up, but do we have repair mats? We do. Okay, good. But no, actually, I take that back. We shouldn't, because the more time we spend making pies, that's more time for the local wildlife to respawn. And then, after we've made this first round of pies, if we have room for more, then we go hunting. But yeah, we know we at least have the ingredients for one Breyerhouse pie per day.
I could eat anything.
Okay, the damn ptarmigans are trolling me, but we'll get to them eventually. Maybe make shepherd's pie this weekend. That does sound good. I do like a good savory pie as well. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm just as much of a fan of a sweet pie. Yeah, I have not abandoned all my Americanness, but yeah, I have developed an appreciation for the savory pie as well. Yeah, they mashed potatoes that are about to sprout legs and walk out. Well, that is I mean, that's as good a time as any, right? Okay. Have we discussed the whole apple pie with cheddar cheese controversy? I don't believe we have. I didn't know there was a controversy of such type. Yeah, please, I'm all ears. Drop those. Okay, mini steaks. Okay, we have our birch bark in here. Yes, we do. We're gonna go from 68 to 105. Yeah. All right, let me do this real quick.
Just need to close my eyes.
Okay. We'll put our energy drinks down here. Boop, 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 boop. No, I don't want you among the sticks. I want you all over here. And yes, then we'll put our flour over here. Boom, boom, boom. And coffee, yes. Okay, there's some of our first pies. Oh, yeah, and then we'll drop these other pemmican bars. Yeah, that's our first set. But we also have all of these waiting to go. process this real quick. That's only half a stomach worth. All right, well, we'll deal with that tomorrow. There we are. Okay, and then, there we go. And we drop you and you. Actually, is it light enough that we can do some repairs? It is. Nice. Excellent. Okay. That was the worst of it. All right. Do we just start? Maybe we just start. Oh, right, yeah. That skillet there is one we borrowed from Transfer Pass. I mean, well, all right. Let's at least look. We can gather some more firewood as we go. But yeah, so far we only have vision on like that one ptarmigan, which is, I mean, it's proof of concept, but that in itself is not reason enough to delay. Oh jeez, look at all these limbs just sitting right here. And they're all fur. I mean, all right, fine. 100, that's 400, that's half our calories. But it's also a lot of fire time. Okay.
I'm starving.
We did see ptarmigans back here, but they don't appear to have returned. There was that one jerk ptarmigan up the tracks. And then I heard ptarmigans across the way. Oh. I mean, that's a lot, but again, we don't. It's 150 calories per limb. And I don't know that we have that many to spare. got what? 1, 2, 3. You got 3 cedar limbs right here. Yeah, that we would run out. Oh, and it's back. You'll not evade me this time, Birdo. Make a mockery of me, will ya? Just the noise they make when you beat them with the rock, it just sounds so indignant. Like, excuse me? Although, I guess, to be fair, if someone just, you know, beat me in the head with a rock out of nowhere, I don't know that I would take it much better.
And this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay, let's head back, drop these off. Let's see. Oh, Andrea, I don't know if you were in Ad Realm, but I do not know of the whole apple pie with cheddar cheese controversy, so I'm all ears. I do not know of this. Oh, well, does that sound appealing? Well, okay, so does the apple pie have cheese in it or on top? Like,
Anything right now.
where is the cheese in this equation? Because I do feel like that would be important. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's just start. No, on top, a single orange triangle. Oh, so they basically they do to apple pie what the Koreans do to ramen. They put a single slice of cheese on top. Honestly, I hmm,
Come on, little fire.
I don't know that I was gonna say I don't know that'd be my first choice, but I'm also not necessarily opposed to it. Yeah, you know what? I think that actually does sound kind of good. No, I need these. I need these. I need these less. Problem is, there's not a lot of calories in here. Very little isn't improved by cheese on top. Yeah, it's a lot of things could definitely use that. I need to try. Honestly, Next time I'm in New England, I might just have to seek that out. Okay, give me a whole thing of flour, like so. A whole thing of oil, like so. And give me all of these.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
You are. You're going to drop it on the fire. There we go. And another. Okay, BRB? No worries. Yeah, we've begun cooking the pies. So, yeah, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, ooh, yeah, we are gonna need more water, so we'll have to look at that. Okay, and then top up the fire. All right, but let's add these to the pie, the pie pile. There we go. There you go. Yeah, I'd given thoughts about, given thought to maybe having our fire outdoors and get more outdoor time, and then we goose or we get more burn time on our fire. But okay, you go there. You give me max water. Yeah, but there is the issue of fires getting blown out. So are you? Ooh, they're already down to 35%. Oh. Well, admittedly, they've been out there for a while. Yeah, ooh, yeah, don't look too closely at those. Those peach pies have seen better days. Okay, go. We got what? Yeah, one. We got three more pies out of this bag of flour. 42. Oh, that lines up quite nicely. If I do say so myself. Cool. Take that. Move you back there. Okay, and then that'll be all we can do with this bag. Oh, I haven't even processed that ptarmigan. Gosh darn it. Well, yeah, we'll get the meat. That's the important bit. And I will put that by the fire as a visual reminder. Oh yes, more. Excuse me.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
There we go. Okay, still good. Oh yeah, we should probably make ourselves some food at some point. There we go. Yeah, that fire turned really red all of a sudden. Suggests to me there could be an aurora in our future. Although I don't know that it's clear enough for that. Yeah, we got water for a while. There we go. Yeah, we're using 0.15 water per pie. Yeah, we got the ptarmigan. Yeah, we're starting to run low on rabbit and venison. Well, yeah, but I did just top up ptarmigan. Yeah, like 1.4 kilos of ptarmigan. So that would make sense. There we go. Now, you know what? This might be slightly foolish. But we might as well see what we can do with all this.
It's dusk, so I can't be far behind.
Okay, I have 7.5 kilos of ptarmigan, more than 8.5 kilos of rabbit, only 5.5 kilos of venison. So if you're going to eat anything, we should be eating the rabbit. If we're trying to maximize our pie output. Oh yeah, we could make bannock as well, if we were so inclined. And if we were want to potentially curtail our pie making. Oh, look at that. It's a neat shot. A little smoke trilling off into the distance. Okay, you know what? How much is that? 0.33. That's a kilo. Yeah, it's only 563. It's not a lot. get some water, because we have gone through our water stash here as well, so might as well top that up. Okay, well, yeah, so much for my expected aurora, but alright, that's fine. Okay, very good. Yeah, that is a 73-degree fire right there. Nice and roasty toasty. I didn't drop any off the edge, didn't I? Nope, good. Okay, lovely. What are we short on? Ah, flour. I can fix that.
I am too tired to think straight.
Good thing I don't need you to think, I just need you to cook. And 3 kilos of venison. Excuse me. Okay, let's try and take that. Might need to cook some more rabbit. So that's probably what? Yeah, that's 5. We have 5 more pies worth of venison. Yeah, much more rabbit and ptarmigan, but yeah, that's unless there's another deer tromping about out there, we might be at our pie making zenith. Hey, Bumblebee, good morning to you. Welcome in. How's things? Hope the week is treating you well. We're just here on the pie production line again. But good to see you as always, Bumblebee. You know what? Sure. There we go. Very nice. Good. Had a busy week at work. All right. Excellent. Well, you have a nice, restful weekend ahead of you. Yeah, it is. It's another working weekend for me, but I don't mind as much because that frees me up to take Wednesday off of work, and that means I can play episode 5 right when it comes out. Okay, this is the last pie we can make unless we bag another deer. So that might be something we go looking for tomorrow. So let me go ahead. We'll cook up some ptarmigan and some rabbit. Try to keep them roughly equal. Should probably make some water too while we're at it. Alright. Oh yeah, bannock. We could make some bannock. I could not make some bannock because we don't have enough flour. Well, I can fix that. I can play. Oh yeah, the plan is to stream it. If all goes well, I would like to. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to pick it up like as soon as it drops. Like it's the scheduled. Uh, like the scheduled drop is like 1 a.m. my time. Normally I wouldn't stay up for it, but because I had the next day off of work, I can like I can take a nap when I come home from work, and then make sure I'm up by midnight, let's say, and then maybe we can just play episode 5 until I get tired. Yeah, and I imagine I'll be far from alone in trying to jump on that as soon as it's available. But that's fine. I want to see where the story goes, and I say I'm definitely not going to be able to do it all in one go because it's what like a 10 to 12 hour episode, and I don't know that I have that. I mean, maybe the story will grab me that much. I don't know. Probably not, but at the very least, we can get in, a good solid maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then we can deal with the rest later in the week. Okay, one more thing of Bannock, and then Astrid's Tum Tum will be full for the evening. I tell you, yeah, why don't you go ahead and make a liter of water as well? Right, let me do that. Let me jump. Okay, that's not helpful. Okay, put the rabbit all in a pile. I can't see anything. Okay, rabbit all in a pile. Ptarmigan all in a pile, and then the venison will go there. It can't really be a pile if it's on its own, can it? There we go. Lovely. Grab you. Actually, hang on. There we go. You know what? We'll just... Yeah, that bannock will be breakfast.